On CBS 12 News this morning at 6, gas prices ripping through your wallet with another record high. We'll tell you just how much higher prices are before you head out the door this morning.
Plus, the price of car insurance on the rise here in South Florida, the reason behind the spiking rates, and the 3 things you can do right now to lower your cost.
And many of our teachers now struggling to make ends meet with skyrocketing inflation.
You have teachers who can't pay their house notes. You've got teachers that can't buy groceries for their kids.
Why a pay raise in the coming months is still just not enough to keep them afloat.
And we've got a few showers that are coming onshore this morning. I've got a closer look at your cooler start as well.
It's a new day. This is CBS 12 News This Morning.
Hey there, happy Wednesday to you. I'm Matt Lincoln.
And I'm Sam Kerrigan. It is a nice, cooler start to your Wednesday. You'll notice it right when you walk outside. We want to check in with meteorologist Laura Lesky for a look at that forecast.
Yeah, cooler out there, a north wind. It's nice and breezy. The humidity is lower. Overall, looking good. We got some showers still passing onshore this morning. Rain just south of Hobe Sound down into Jupiter and North Palm Beach, right across I-95, the turnpike near PGA Boulevard along the coastline there too. So these showers moving south outside with that north wind. It's also much cooler outside. It's 11 degrees colder currently in Fort Pierce than it was 24 hours ago. Starting off at 62 degrees. How about that? It's quite nice out there for everyone. 67 for Delray Beach and Boca this morning. Winds are around 5 miles per hour, but they will increase as we move throughout our morning and into the afternoon. Closer to 10 miles per hour by around 7, 8 o'clock, but you'll notice they could get close to 20 miles per hour once we get into the afternoon, headed towards about 80 degrees later on as well. More on the rest of your week is ahead. Matt, Sam.
Thanks, Lauren. At 6:03, let's take a look on our roads. On the Treasure Coast here in Fort Pierce, I-95 and the Turnpike running up to speed near Okeechobee Road. And our traffic tracker heading south right now on Australian Avenue in West Palm Beach. We're not seeing any issues on our side streets.
Well, this morning, President Biden says fighting inflation is his top domestic priority as we're watching the sun rise in our nation's capital.
He plans to lower the cost of energy and prescription drugs, ease supply chain issues, and raise taxes on corporations.
And all this as we are just hours away from the federal government releasing April's inflation numbers.
And that crucial report is expected to give an idea of whether inflation is nearing its peak.
Yeah, and our Jay O'Brien's at the live desk staying on top of the big news of the day here. Jay, what are economists predicting?
Yeah, a lot of the country waiting anxiously for that report this morning. In just about 2.5 hours at 8:30, the Bureau of Labor Statistics is going to release the Consumer Price Index. That's a measurement of how much prices change over time. These numbers will be from April, from last month, so they're going to give us an indication of where inflation is headed, what's driving it, what's driving prices upwards. This graph is from the last time we got a Consumer Price Index report looking at March. These bars, the higher the bar, the more prices have changed over time. Energy changing in the 30%. That's absolutely unheard of. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has something to do with that. Some other factors. Food changing about 8.8%. That's very high. The report overall showing prices increased 8.5% across the board. That's the largest increase since the 1980s. Food costs increased even more than that, as we said, that 8.8%. All of this as President Biden yesterday unveiled his plan to combat inflation, saying it has 2 main causes. Inflation does, the pandemic and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And then, when announcing his plan, taking this moment to slam Republican economic policies.
They don't want to solve inflation by lowering your costs. They want to solve it by raising your taxes and lowering your income. I happen to think it's a good thing when American families have a little more money in their pockets at the end of the month. But the Republicans in Congress don't seem to think so.
Republicans hitting back hard, saying President Biden owns these price increases and no one else. Florida Senator Rick Scott even suggesting the president should resign. Now, back to the Consumer Price Index that we're expecting today. It'll give us a good indication of where the country is headed with inflation. And some analysts are even saying it's going to be a pivotal report, and it might even show that inflation has already peaked, Matt and Sam.
Jay, that energy price increase, where are we seeing it? Boom, right here. Gas prices, they're continuing to rise. Another record high today, beating yesterday's record. It was $4.37 yesterday. Today, it's $4.40. Florida average slightly below that at $4.32. When we take a look, South Florida, Palm Beach County remains the highest in the entire state, $4.47. That's 10 to 15 cents more than what we're seeing on the Treasure Coast and 20 cents more than what we're seeing in some other places across the state. Why are these prices rising? Well, the cost of crude oil skyrocketing because of sanctions against Russia, and oil producers put the brakes on some production during the pandemic. Less supply, high demand equals higher prices, Sam.
Yeah, Matt, and on top of record high gas prices, we're adding high car insurance costs to the mix now. This morning, new numbers show Florida pays the second highest share of their incomes on car insurance premiums. I want you to take a look here. The average driver in the state spends more than $2,700 for full coverage. Here in South Florida, that rate is even higher. We are looking at the average premium of about $3,500. Now, for perspective, the national average is around $1,700. Certainly a lot of money when you add in all of the other expenses that we have. CBS 12's Kara Duffy is live in West Palm Beach this morning with the reason behind the high prices and some tips that could help you save. Kara, we are all ears this morning.
Good morning, Sam. Insurance experts say there's a couple of reasons that really play into this, and one of them won't come as much of a surprise to anyone who has spent any time on the roads here in Florida. It can be downright dangerous. Plus, there's more people who now live here, and that means more accidents and more claims. Keep in mind, there's also a ton of attorneys here in Florida whose main job is to make sure that the insurance companies pay the maximum, so more costs to the carriers. Robert Norberg is the president of Arden Insurance Associates in Lantana, and he says there are a few ways to lower your rates. First, shop around. Don't just take the first price on the table. Get quotes from several providers. Also, be sure to take advantage of discounts. There's a lot of them out there.
There are all kinds of incentives out there, from bundling to multi-car discounts, multi-driver discounts. It's just amazing how many discounts are unseen by people. And the other thing that a lot of people don't understand is longevity with a company can give you some substantial discounts.
Norberg says there's other discounts out there, like if you haven't had any accidents or moving violations in a number of years, or if you have certain safety features on your vehicle. Asking for higher deductibles can also lower your costs. Sam Norberg tells us drivers should be looking and reevaluating their policies at least every 6 months to a year, making sure that they're not only getting the lowest rates, but also that they're properly being covered.
All right, Karen, car insurance, of course, not the only expensive thing in Florida right now, but also home insurance. This morning, we're learning state regulators will weigh in on increasing property insurer rates for some homeowners. Next week, there will be 3 hearings on proposals by property insurers to raise rates more than 20%. Those hearings come less than a week before a special session that's set to tackle the insurance market. Key issues during that session could include trying to help companies get reinsurance, which is backup coverage that is key for Florida carriers.
And this morning, many teachers in our area are really pinching pennies to make ends meet. Right now, Florida, the 3rd worst paying state in the country for teachers. That's according to the National Education Association. Teachers, I don't have to tell you that. You know that already. Take a look. We got a breakdown right here, county by county. Palm Beach County, actually one of the state's best paying, $53,500 a year. A new deal, though, by the school board will soon raise salaries for many teachers by 3.5%. That only applies, though, to teachers who work under the performance-based standards that our state put into place 8 years ago. Teachers like Edith Pride, who she was hired way before to qualify for this certain increase. She has to give up her tenure and work under the same performance-based system to get that raise.
No matter how hard we work, how long we stay, how many hours we give, how many sacrifices we make, none of that really matters, because they're going to play politics with our salary, and no one is going to value our years of commitment.
Right now, a teacher with 25 years of experience could be making over $60,000. According to the district's website, some tenured teachers tell us that the raises just are not enough to keep up with inflation.
6:11 right now, and on the Treasure Coast, voters could be asked to renew a property tax increase. That tax would fund teacher salaries, school security, mental health services, and educational programs in St. Lucie County. The school board voted to put the referendum on the November election. County commissioners will now need to approve it, and if it's approved, the new rate would go into effect July 1st and expire in 2027.
This morning, we're learning the Seminole County School Board in Orlando will not cover up these yearbook photos of students protesting the state's new parental rights education law. So the law limits classroom instruction about gender identity and sexual orientation in classrooms. You can see some photos here with the rainbow flag there. So a sticker instead is going to be placed on that page that explains the protest was student-led and not ran by the school. The photographer who captured the photos says she was only doing her job of documenting what was happening on campus.
This was a protest that wasn't met with much resistance by administration, and we were easily able to take pictures of the kids in the courtyard. They were celebrating, they were chanting.
Right now, there's a petition online created by the photographer called Stop the Stickers. For now, the distribution of the yearbooks are delayed until the school buys those stickers that are needed.
6:12 right now. This morning, we're learning a judge dismissed a lawsuit against the governor over Disney's self-governing district. The lawsuit, filed by 3 Central Florida residents, claims taxpayers would end up footing the bill for Reedy Creek's $1 billion in bond debt. But the judge said there's no proof that would happen because no official plan has been put in place. The battle between Disney and the governor all started after the company spoke out against the parental rights in education law.
Well, a woman dragged through a Boca Raton Mall parking lot during a robbery speaks out.
And drove away with me and the purse, dragging my body along the pavement for about 15 feet.
A scary situation, which she is only telling CBS 12 News about the moments that led up to that violent attack.
And a Palm Beach County high school student accepted to one of the best universities in the country.
It was just amazing to see that all your hard work, all the late nights studying, working, playing sports, finally paid off.
Yeah, we are going to hear more from the young man whose dreams came true. It is a story that you don't want to miss.
And before we head to break, let's take a live look at Lake Worth Beach, where you can see. Take a look at that surf. It's tough out there. Meteorologist Lauren Oleski is going to tell us about the high surf advisory that is in effect. When we come back, you're watching CBS 12 News This Morning, the one to turn to. Welcome back. CBS 12 News This Morning, and in just hours, the Senate plans to vote on abortion rights. This is in response to a leaked Supreme Court majority draft ruling which would overturn the legal precedent set by Roe v. Wade. This measure faces an uphill battle for Democrats, as a near 50-50 party split in the Senate means the Dems likely will not meet the 60-vote threshold needed to pass the bill. A similar version also failed back in February.
6:17 right now. Overnight, the House passed a roughly $40 billion bill to deliver aid to Ukraine. The legislation passed with bipartisan support. It now heads to the Senate, where Majority Leader Chuck Schumer promised to vote soon. From there, the measure will go to the president's desk before the previous aid package runs out.
6:17, take a look at this new video out of North Carolina. Watch this house, which is a house, and now it's a boat.
Houseboat.
It's a houseboat. As debris all from this scattered all over the beach. This is the second home this week from that beach that fell into the waves. Thankfully, no one was inside.
Yeah, thank goodness. But it's so sad to see that happen, and not just to one, but 2 just this week, Lauren.
Yeah, this is climate change right before our eyes. There's rising sea levels, so I'm sure that house had to have been battered by waves and rising waters for quite some time. And you know, this low pressure that's off the coast, that's just kind of what did it. Here's radar right now. You'll notice we've got these showers coming onshore still in northern Palm Beach County. We need the rain, so any rain that pops up is beneficial to us. Low pressure off of the coast right now. That's what's kind of churning up all the waves across the Outer Banks there of North Carolina. But that low is also getting closer to the United States and sends moisture in our direction. So over the next couple of days, not a washout by any means, but some scattered rain like what we're seeing right now. Rainfall totals between now and Sunday still staying steady around that ½ inch mark. So it kind of looks like what we'll deal with over the next few days. So passing shower or 2, not out of the question. Most of the rain will be very brief. It's a nice day today, though. Low to mid 80s outside. Temperatures are actually a couple degrees below average for this time of year. The humidity is not too bad, so it's a pretty comfortable day. But we're getting warmer, mid 80s this weekend, near 90 by next week. Matt, Sam.
Thanks, Lauren. On-time traffic now. We're taking a look here at that drive from West Palm Beach to Jupiter. A quick 16-minute ride for you there on the Turnpike. And Traffic Tracker 12 stopped at a traffic light here, but we are heading west on Southern Boulevard. We're not tracking any issues on our major highways or on our side streets.
Well, this morning, we're hearing from the woman who police say got her purse stolen at the Town Center Mall in Boca Raton 2 weeks ago. Police say someone jumped out of a car outside the Saks Fifth Avenue parking lot, yanked the purse off her shoulder, knocked her to the ground. She was even dragged for a little while. Julie Hauser is still recovering from that, and she says things could have gone a lot worse.
My life wasn't taken, but it could have been that close. It was that close that I could have died from this incident. I was fighting for my life and I was thinking to myself, an inch to the left or an inch to the right, I could have been run over by the car.
Right now, police are still looking for suspects. They say they got away in an older black Nissan Maxima. Because the security cameras were too far away, they don't have a clear picture of the suspects. We reached out to the mall and its owner, but they have not responded to our security questions.
Time right now is 6:20, and this morning Broward County is addressing a shortage of 911 dispatchers. The sheriff's office asked commissioners for more than $11 million to fight the shortage. County leaders claim raising salaries and adding staff won't fix the problem, saying people are leaving because they're treated poorly. They voted to have the county attorney draft a plan to give $4.7 million to 911 personnel for raises, retention, and recruitment. The commission will vote on that in the next meeting.
Well, next, the Heat got turned up on the Sixers in Miami last night. We'll show you how Philly got roasted in Game 5 and how the hometown Heat have taken the upper hand in their playoff series.
And the search for baby formula growing more desperate across the nation. Parents, stay with us. We have some tips that could help you get your hands on some.
Another look outside. This is live in Fort Pierce. We'll take a look at your Treasure Coast forecast coming up next right here on CBS 12 News This Morning. Take a look at this. Surprise for a family who woke up to this on their doorstep in Rotonda. This is about an hour from Sarasota. Trappers say this gator is 8 feet long, about 350 pounds. Not sure why he decided to just plop there on the doorstep. But as we've been telling you, this is the time of the year where you're going to find alligators in places you're not used to. This is the mating season. It goes through June, and we're seeing them, unfortunately, on doorsteps, climbing up doors and fences and yards, on the streets, on the roads.
In your pool.
Everywhere.
In your pool. So just before you step out that front door, you might want to look down. Look around.
Careful. Be aware.
You got to
be gator aware.
You have your checklist when you leave the house. Like phone, wallets, keys. Add
no gator.
Check for gator.
Check for gator
right.
to your to-do list. Maybe a doormat. I think I just came up with $1 billion idea. Check for gator before you leave. A look right now outside from the airport camera. Skies are dry out there. We do have these little showers that have been coming on shore, though, in northern Palm Beach County. Some of the rain has been moving through southeastern Martin County. Not the case anymore. That has now moved south. There are showers off the coast of the Fort Pierce Inlet, but onshore Treasure Coast, everyone's dry. 66 degrees in Stewart, 63 in Vero Beach, and in Okeechobee, 64 in Port St. Lucie. Fort Pierce is at 62. It's a nice, cool start to our morning. High surf advisory is still in effect across the area today from Sebastian down to Tequesta, really all the way down to Boca. Really rough conditions expected at our beaches today. Matt, Sam.
Thanks, Lauren. Time now for another check on the roads. Up on the Treasure Coast, all is clear for your drive here on I-95 through the Vero Beach area. We're not tracking any crashes or delays.
Well, all it took was being back home for the Miami Heat to look more like themselves last night after losing 2 straight games in Philly to have their Eastern Conference semifinal tied at 2. The Heat blew out the Sixers last night. Total annihilation and everyone getting involved. This is Max Strus dialing it up from long distance. 3 of his 19, 7 Heat players at double figures. Final score 120-85. And now the Sixers are on the brink of elimination. Game 6 tomorrow night. Back in Philly with the Heat up 3-2. And tonight, the Florida Panthers look to do the same thing the Heat just did. Come back home and go a game up in their playoff series. All tied at 2 between the Cats and the Caps. Game 5 tonight at the FLA Live Arena. Sports Director John Evanson will be there with all the highlights on CBS 12 News at 11.
Well, next on CBS 12 News at 6:30, do we need a Category 6 hurricane on our Saffir-Simpson scale? In 10 minutes, I'll have a special report on why there is a lot of debate on this topic.
Plus, you know what else there's a lot of debate on? Former President Trump and Twitter. Could he be a step closer to making a comeback to that social media platform, all because of Elon Musk? I'll explain ahead at the live desk.
And before we head to break, here is a live look in Delray Beach this morning. It is a cooler start to our Wednesday morning. We've got much more ahead. Another check on your forecast all here on CBS 12 News this morning. Stay with us.